Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Build Your Best Life. I'm so happy that you could join us today. So, all of my Facebook fans, YouTube fans, and Periscope fans, thank you so much for joining. Good evening, Peggy. Thanks for tuning in. So happy to have you here. And wherever you are tuning in from or watching from, whether you are in the United States, the Bahamas, Jamaica, Nigeria, Canada, wherever you are, welcome, 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 and thank you so much for tuning in. As you may know, we are starting out this year talking about mindset. Mindset. It is one of those building materials that we have been talking about. Building materials help you to build a great life. So the building material that we're going to be talking about this month is mindset. So everybody in your chat box, type in mindset. Everybody come on in here. Mindset. The power of your mindset is what we're going to talk about today. The power of your mindset. Hi, Patricia, Pat Pearson. Thanks for tuning in. So glad to have you today. The power of mindset. And I'm so happy to have with me today Dan Smith Jr., my husband. During 2021, I'm changing up my format a little bit. So what I'm going to be doing is, my platform is Build Your Best Life. And I have a passion to assist young men to overcome obstacles to build their best lives. However, the platform and the book and everything is not just for young men. It's for young men, young women, parents, teachers, mentors, coaches, everyone that can assist someone in building a better life. So this year, I'm going to have different guests on each month. And each month, I'm going to invite an educator, a parent, a minister, and a young man on the various Tuesdays to join me as we discuss whatever topic we're talking about during that month. So I am happy to have Dan Smith Jr. joining me today as a parent. So welcome, Dan, and would you like to introduce yourself to those of you who may not know you?
Sure. My name is Dan Smith Jr. I am the husband of Deborah Deetz Smith, one of the most wonderful young lady in my life. I'm so very proud of her. And I just thank God for blessing her into my life. As I my career started back in law enforcement in 1975. And I started as a special agent. From there, I moved to a senior special agent, from senior special agent to supervisory special agent. I served on the Presidential Drug Task Force in 85 and other areas from something in the neighborhood, maybe 20, 25 different states. And I had to know all my federal laws due to the fact that each state had different laws, but I had a federal commission. With that, I had to learn my federal laws. I retired after 39 years and 4 months. And that was a blessing for me. An opportunity to help a lot of young men, young ladies also during my career. We have 4 kids, 3 boys and 1 girl, 6 grandchildren. I have a very intelligent mother who, every day she called me. And there's something that she liked to say, I got to hear it. So, but she's very intelligent. She's 97 years old, and she still has her wits about herself. She's still smart and intelligent. So, saying that, that's we can move on into your platform.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us. And just to let you know, Aunt Sabrina Isom is on. She tuned in.
Hey, cuz, how are you?
All right. The power of your mindset. You know, when I was growing up, there was an old saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Well, there was nothing further from the truth, because the fact of the matter is words do hurt. They not only hurt, but they can cause permanent damage to the person that those words are being said to. You know, a lot of times people will pretend, oh, you know, it doesn't bother me. You hear people, you know, saying negative things towards you, and you pretend, well, you know, it doesn't bother. But, you know, when you get home by yourself and you get a chance to think about it, yes, it does bother you, you know. You know, why would they say such a thing? Well, that's not true about me. So words can damage, and it can cause permanent damage. And especially when it gets into the mindset, those things and behaviors that you see or act out or hear that becomes a part of who you are. Is just in your mind. So when those words get into your mindset, they can be devastating. And some of the most popular things that I've heard people say that can be very damaging are, you know, parents that'll tell their child, you are so stupid. So it doesn't always come from your peers and your classmates or friends or whatever. Sometimes it comes closer to home or in the home. Parents may be mad at the child's father, so then they take it out on the child and call them stupid. Or your friends and say, man, you know what, you dumb. You know, they may be just a little bit smarter than you, and it's in certain subjects, but then they want to call you dumb. And if somebody continues to do that long enough, hey, you think it's true. Some people tell them, well, you will never amount to anything. You're going to be just like your daddy. He wasn't worth anything. You're not going to be worth anything. Someone may say, know your family history. You know, nobody in your family, I don't know why you bother going to school. Nobody in your family ever graduated, and you're not going to finish school either. So why do you bother going? Those things do hurt. They can get into your DNA and cause damage. But I believe and understand the power of your mindset is an essential component of being a better person and building your better life. So Dan and I are going to talk about some different things as far as the mindset, you know, how it can damage, and, you know, what can be done to reverse that thought process. So my first question is, what is your perspective, Dan, about the power of your mindset?
Well, the power of your mindset is one of the critical roles that you have in your life and challenges. That's in school, in growth, even facing problems such as trying to find a job. But a mindset has to be a positive thinking and emotional, mental attitude that's focused on the bright side of life. When you have a positive thinking, you're expecting something positive. You don't want to have anything negative. That mindset will keep you going. If you face something that is challenging, stay positive. Keep that positive mindset, and you could go through that. But you can always continue searching. You know, it's like a silver liner, making the best out of any situation and find yourself. So once you find yourself, you're gonna have a positive, a very positive mindset in yourself. One of the things I like about a quote they said once before: once your mindset challenges everything on the outside, then it will change. I'm sorry. Once the mindset is changes, the mindset changes everything on the outside, which changes along with it. So your mindset on the outside, if everything, if your mindset, you got a great mindset, and it changes on that, on it changes, so it's gonna change on the outside. And if your mindset changes on the outside, you got it's positive. You got to look at the way you go on, and how you want to get there. So, yes, you got to have a positive mindset, and an attitude is one of the world's greatest things that you can have to keep a positive mindset. So you got to. It's a combination of words. I know when you first started off about certain words that people says, but have a positive mindset is mental. You got to keep that mental positive mindset, and it can contribute and achieve greater things.
Awesome. I like that. And I like that word attitude that you said, because with attitude, it can make a huge difference as well. You have a positive attitude that can assist you in soaring and doing that much better. So that does work right along with that mindset. Okay, I believe that parents, they have to have their child's best interests in mind at all times. You can't get mad at your child and then it's like I just throw my hands up. Parents should only speak positive words to their children. Now, as your children were coming up, how did you handle situations with them when you had to breach a subject where they may not have been on their A game? So it was, something that they may have done or acted out in a way that you didn't like. But how did you, speak to them and get your point across and still stay positive?
Well, the way I did that, I could go to the youngest to the oldest by sitting down with them, giving them a scenario. I mean, I'm gonna give you a little small scenario. Even like the oldest, a lot of parents on their kids about cleaning their rooms or whatever. So I gave him a positive word, and it stuck with him the whole time. After cleaning up his room, I say, now look at his room. His room is talking about you, how I look, how I smell, and what you did to improve my looks. So they listened to me, they thought about it, they smiled about it. I never had that problem no more. So it's how you say it to your child or how you put it to a child. I like to take mine and just sit down with them and give them some scenarios. By being in law enforcement, I can give a lot of scenarios. And, look, hey, some kids are told they are not going to be anything, which I had one young man, I guess he was probably 16, 17 years old, but he was living with his girlfriend. Well, he didn't say girlfriend, he said baby mama. He had told me that his teachers told him he wasn't gonna be nothing. I said, your teacher told you that? So he told me yes. So why would they tell you that? I don't know. I said, I'm gonna tell you something, and I hope this sticks with you. You can be whoever you want to be, or whatever you want to be. So he said, nobody never taught me that way. He appreciated it. And probably about maybe 2 years later, he remembered me. I was on the or the Moncrief area, and he stopped. He say, "Aren't you the officer that talked to me about 2 or 3 years ago? You remember me?" I said, "Yeah." That particular time, he had on a shirt and tie. He's well dressed. So I said, "Wait a minute, hold up. You're not the one that said that they say you ain't gonna be nobody." He said, "Yes, sir." Very respectful, "Yes, sir." And he said, "I'm a junior in college. I'm doing very well." So I asked him this question, "Well, how's the baby?" "I'm taking care of my child." That's okay. So by being getting his mindset and getting him to consider where he's at and where he can be, that helped him. But going back to my own kids, I had that one incident. I had another incident where they wanted to do certain things, and I have to enlighten them that, wait a minute, hold up. Anytime a child would tell you, well, one of his friends goes out at night or stay late or whatever, and then my immediate comment to them, sit down, what's your daddy name? Dan Smith Jr. I said, okay. So me and the other young lady, dad are totally different. I work every night in the street, and I know what's out there in the street. He don't. So you need to listen to me. It's not good for a person to be out there, a young lady to be out there at night after 1 o'clock in the morning. So they got that picture very well. I don't think I never had that conversation no more because they understand where I was coming from.
Okay, that's awesome. So I guess it's different when you sit down and have those conversations, and it comes back to what I talked about last month about those candid conversations. You can't play word games with them. You have to be open and honest and tell them like it is, So seems like that worked out well.
Yeah, and then you just ask them the question, where you want to go? Where you want to go? And I understand a lot of kids do not like college, but I encourage all minds to go to college, to try college. And if you don't like it, and this is where we're gonna go from there. We're gonna find a job. Every one of them, we had vehicles for them. And you're gonna find a job, and that vehicle got a payment. You're gonna take away that payment in 6 months. So Deborah and I never had to pay for a car. If it was paid for, they went to school. So they had a choice. But the thing about it, getting them in that mindset, well, I don't have to do this in order to do that because my parents have already gave me some perspective and gave me a right mindset of which way I wants to go.
Very good. Excellent. All right. If someone hears something, often enough, they may begin to believe it, whether it's true or not. In chapter 1 of my book, Build Your Best Life, I relate a story about a young man who was teased unmercifully about being gay. His guys that went to school with him would play pranks on him and his friend and do worse things. So in his mind, as far as he was concerned, being gay had never entered his mind, his mindset. He didn't think he was, but then the more these guys would say it and play, pranks on them and tease them and everything, he began to like, well, if everybody else keeps saying it, I'm the only one that thinks I'm not. Am I really? But fortunately for this particular young man that I talk about in the book, he was open to trying to find out, let me talk to somebody because I don't know. My mind was saying one thing, but now because I'm hearing these other negative things, I don't know which way is right. So he talk with me, and I recommended that, we as go together and talk to his parents, and then for them to allow him to talk to someone professionally, which he did. And, it ends up, long story short, that, no, he was not gay, but, that was just because those people just kept saying it. And he was like, well, what in the world? Why do they keep saying that if it's not true? So the mind can play tricks on you. And that's why it's so very important for parents to be positive with their children. Your mindset can just completely warp whatever's in there. You can take the negative mind and make it positive. It can take the positive mind and make it negative. So like I said, for the young man in my story, he was fortunate that he had someone to talk about. Now, Dan, are you familiar with anyone whose entire life was impacted because of a situation that was planted into their mindset, and then you kind of, did something or said something that changed? And I know the example that you gave earlier about the young man, now that was an excellent example, but you have any other situations where that occurred?
Yes, I had another situation that something like that occurred. The young man was hanging around with another young man, and he wasn't necessarily he was being taught to steal. He was feel like that's the only thing he could do, or that's the way he could survive. And until he'd run across Special Agent Smith. We was on stakeout, and this young man, it was about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I had just finished called it, and him and another young man entered these trailers. So, make a long story short, we went after him. I got him. The other one bailed off, and he ran, but he told on him. So, but he was telling me that for the longest, that's the only friend he had. He said, I'm your friend, and we need to do this, we need to do that. So he had put a specific mindset in his mind, which was not a positive mindset, with nothing to do with his growth, with nothing to do with his abilities, anything like that. He just kept telling the guy that he wasn't, he was going to be a thief like him. Lo and behold, went to the young man's house that night. The other young man that got away went to his house that night, and he's gonna get out the bed like he been asleep all night. And then his mother told me, well, he been in the bed. So anyway, make a long story short, we gathered him up and the other boy up, arrested both of them. Now the young man that I started talking to, and he gave us directions. He helped us, connect with the other young man, which a lot of times they won't give up their friends because they don't want to get themselves in trouble, more in trouble than that. But they come back to where what he was told, and the instructions that we gave him. And I mean, this was just one night instruction from, I'm gonna say 1 o'clock in the morning to around 4:30 in the morning, to after we got him incarcerated. This young man actually was amazing. This young man came by my office and he thanked me. He sit down to my desk. He thanked me. He said, I want to thank you because you stopped me in my tracks from becoming a thief. So, and he said, I have finished college. And he said, whenever you get a chance, I'd love to come by and talk with you. I'll take you to lunch somewhere. I said, I'm welcome to open always. You can always talk to me. And right now, this young man is about I guess about 44. About a year ago, I was at the store, and he still remembered me. And the only thing he came to say, he said, "All I want to say is thank you." So by him, by just a little additional positive uh, talk with him, and that really those kind of stir. I love those, and those endings like that, and just giving them the mindsets like that, which I know it could be done, and started with the parent, from the parent, to the grandparents, and you just have to talk to the kids positively and give them the right mindset.
That's wonderful. That, as you stated, that made a big difference in you speaking to him positively like that, and just changed his whole mindset, where he could have went down, he could have got killed that night, a lot of different things, but just being open to you listening to him. And that's what a lot of our young men need. All they need is a hand up, someone that is willing to help them, to assist them to be better. Nobody's ever taken the time to encourage them or tell them when they were wrong or whatever. So they do what they do. If we don't help them, they will destroy. So they need a hand up. So you ought to be applauded for assisting. All right. Well, Dan, I have seen you interact a lot because you are very visible at our church. And I've seen you raise the boys and our daughter. So I know that you are a great father. And I've witnessed you interacting with young men at church. The parents, they have so many problems with them. And then they'll come to you, Deacon Dan, can you talk to my son, whatever. They don't have a male in their lives, and they ask you to, can you talk to my son? And you always do it. Can you please provide some input on those conversations that you have had? Were those discussions linked to mindset? And if so, how? Or if not, it didn't necessarily have to be, but how were you able to assist them?
And talking with one of the things they do, and talking with the parent, when they come to me and ask for some help, they're going to have to talk with me so I can fully understand what's going on with the young man. If it's without a father, a male figure in his life, because if you're going to ask me to do something, I'm going to ask you some questions, and I don't need you to be bashful about it, because if you want me to help, I'm going to help. I might even give you some advice before I give the child some advice. You had situations in the church where, as to the young man in one of our programs, he was 13 years old, 12 years old. They called me as a deacon. He was acting out, and no parent there. But then I sat down and talked with the boy. The problem was, number one, no male in the family, in the household. Number two, he done cut a yard or whatever to get a phone when his mother told him that he couldn't have one at that particular time. Number three, when he got to the school, he's out of school suspension. He gonna talk to the instructor rudely, which was a female. She was so embarrassed by him that she called her husband. So after talking with the young man for a length of time, I asked him one question. And that question was, the straight was, have you ever had a good spanking? He said, no, sir. I said, I think that's what you need, a good spanking, because you do not know how to act. So either we're going to straighten this out today, I'm taking you back there in the corner and you're going to get a good spanking. And I don't think you want me to spank you. He said, whatever it'll take. But at that particular time, I didn't know they're going to went ahead and go ahead and suspend him from out of suspension school, suspended from there. But that situation is bothers me, because if you're trying to reach a child, you got to get some understanding before you just go and put them out the pasture. You know what you have to do. But the kids at the church, they're not bad kids. They just want to, some of them, they're young, want to do what they want to do. So this is where you got to really sit down and talk to them. You got to put the fear of God in them. And that's what I call it. I put the fear of God in them. I had one parent come to me. She said, oh, yeah, my son told me you going to tear his butt up. I said, I sure was. I didn't bite my tongue. I said, either you're going to straighten him out or I'm going to help you straighten him out. So that's one of the things I did. And I just love them all. I'll deal with them from 1 year old. I remember a little fella, he was sitting in the back, and me and him got to know each other pretty good. But he, talked and laughed with me. But he wouldn't understood what me and him was talking about. But, as he got older, I saw some maturity in him. But yeah, and then even with the young men, some of them that, I sit there and talk with, they are looking at me, not necessarily as a male that can help them, showing them different things, telling them about different things. So if I had their total attention. These guys are in their early 20s. Their total attention. So we was talking, and they asked, okay, well, can we have discussions on and off? I say, hey, that's fine with me. Whenever y'all want to talk. So yeah, but you have to put that mindset in there too. And not even that, the young ladies, we had 3 or 4. I tell them in a minute, yeah, y'all like these curly head boys. All they say, yeah, because they light-skinned, pretty boy, as I call them. I say, but that's not what you look at. You don't look at the outer chamber. You look at the inner. You look at the whole picture. So, yeah, I still got a lot of them call me Papa Dan, and got a lot of daughters, granddaughters, and they respect me and I respect them.
Oh, that's awesome. That's what we need, someone to give them a hand up, help out. Well, again, I do believe that mindset is a relevant component of someone being their best self. Mindset has power. I mean, it's just powerful. Can you please share in your closing thoughts on how parents can ensure they assist their offspring in understanding this principle? What advice can you give to parents that the mindset is important, so what they're feeding into their children is key, that information is positive because it impacts their mindset, which is powerful?
Well, the key is you got to believe in your child. If you don't believe in him, then who's going to believe in him? If you don't believe in him, then how he going to be taught to have a great mindset, a positive mindset? How is he going to achieve where he's trying to go if you do not and still listen to him? So it got to come from the parent. And this, I hear a lot of ladies used to, well, I'm a single parent. Hey, I had a father in the house, but he was a provider. He had 2 jobs, and mama was a single parent. Mama instilled into us every Sunday morning. I was in church, Sunday school. And after Sunday school at church, my mama had to go to work during the daytime. I'm saying on Sunday morning. But the one thing about it, we there in church. And my daddy was home and we tried to play hooky, didn't want to go. He got us up, told us to get ready. Had to be at the church. So we had to go to Sunday school. So, parent, you got to have that instilled into your child. Don't let up on him, because even after they get grown, some gonna stay and a lot gonna go. But I do believe this, that if you instill to them young, they still gonna come back to it. You're gonna go back into the circle. So they got to have that mindset poured into them. And it's the only way you're gonna get it to pour into them is by you as a parent, whether you single parent or two parents, working together to accomplish one goal. Is that to give them a positive mindset so they can, whatever challenge in life they have, they can achieve it and go beyond that. And, I like devil words, go through terrains and if they fall, you got there to be able to help them stand up on their own. Because we do not let our kids fall. And if they need help achieving something, we're there to help them. So parents, I hear a lot of parents say, well, he's 18 now, I'm gonna give up. No, don't you give up on that child, because that child could have something in him that he's trying to achieve. And at 18, he's still gonna need your help.
Yes. Definitely. Thank you so much. I appreciate you taking your time to share with everyone from a parent's perspective. But the mindset is powerful. It is powerful. And parents, we have to, back in the day, we worked together. It was a village raising our children. And today people want to step back, hands off. But that's what we need. We need to come together to assist and work to help these young men understand the things that they are not getting these days, those basic principles that they're missing out on. Have someone if someone is speaking negatively, they need someone in their lives that will show them how they feel about them. You don't have to be parents. It can be a neighbor, coach, or anybody that's a role model that can show that child that your life is important and your life matters. So, Dan, you have to be commended for taking the time out to assist whenever you can. That is just, something that more people need to do to assist our young men and being the best that they can be. Now, I know not everyone that needs this information was on tonight. So if you can please like this video, put any comments on there that you have, and please share with your friends, your family, your children. Let them, give them an opportunity, because sometimes they don't want you to talk to them. But if you say, hey, I saw this video I want you to watch, they might watch it, not even let you know that they watched it, but you are still helping them. So please share this video. And again, I'm on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope, since everyone is not on Facebook. But please visit my website, www.buildyourbestlife.org. On my website, you can find out more about my platform, which is to assist people in building their best lives, overcoming obstacles. You can learn more about me. You can read my blogs. I drop a new blog every Monday. And of course, you can obtain my book, Build Your Best Life, from my web store on my book. And that's www.buildyourbestlife.org. And I thank you so much for tuning in. I mean, it's just my passion to assist. And I may not have had the same issues coming up that our young men have, but I had issues and I had someone to speak into my life and assist me. And I just want to give it forward. And I know that our young men, a lot of times, get a raw deal. Everybody wants to say that our young men don't know how to take care of their kids when they get them. They don't know how to work. They don't know how to, they're not smart. And that's so far from the truth. They're very intelligent. They want to be and have better lives. And they are super smart. We have young entrepreneurs that are out there doing work, doing art, different things. So they just need a hand up. So again, Dan, I applaud you for giving that hand up. And is there anything else that you want to say before we close out?
Well, let me just say just a couple of things. I'm looking at the mind is like a flexible mirror. You adjust it and you see a better world. Once your mindset changes, everything on the outside will change along with it. So just think about that. You know, it's just like a flexible mirror. You look in that mirror, you flex it, you change it, you adjust it, and you do the same thing to your mindset.
Wow, that's deep. That's good. Thank you so much. All right, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to Build Your Best Life. Please join me on Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be on Facebook, Periscope, and YouTube. That's Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much for joining today. Be blessed, and please stay safe. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.